everyone, I'm Devleena, your host, welcoming you all to a new and exciting episode of Icons Behind Brands. And I'm extremely excited to announce our guest for today is a strategic thinker and an effective communicator. With over 18 years of vast experience as a marketing professional, he has worked in various industries like real estate, power, infrastructure, metro, manufacturing, and consumer service companies. So I welcome Mr. Navin Thakur, who is a Senior Vice President at Vascon Engineers. A warm welcome to you, Navin.
Hello.
So happy to have you
Hi.
here. And I'm really excited to know your experience, to know your journey, because I had a conversation with you offline as well, and I have understood you have a lot to talk. Your experience has to be shared here. So I would love to know over 18 years of experience in the field of brand, communication, marketing, advertising. How was your journey, and what are the changes you have seen so far over the period of time?
Sure. Great. Thank you so much, Devleena, for having me here. Uh, yes, it's been, now that we are talking, I realize that it's been 18 years that I've been working. It didn't feel like that it's been 18 years. So the journey, I would say, for that reason, has been a smooth and amazing journey because I didn't realize that it's been 18 years. So I've enjoyed every bit of it. Uh, and so many stories from each organization, from each team that I've worked with. I can go on and probably the time will go short for us to complete this interview, but I'll
Please
restrict
go on.
myself. And
Please go on. We would love to hear that.
uh, you know, I I have been lucky enough to work in many industries. I started my career with advertising agency. I worked with some good names in advertising agencies at that time, few of the top ones. Uh, then while working with the advertising agency, one of my clients asked me to join them in brand. So I was working with Mudra and was servicing Reliance as my client. And the brand of Reliance Infrastructure asked me to join his team. And that was my transition from an agency to the client side thing. This, this journey of agency has its own story behind it. When I was doing my MBA, I was not sure what I'm going to do. I'm engineer from graduation, but in textile. I didn't know. I was sure that I don't want to pursue engineering. I have to get into management. So I came to do MBA. But post MBA, what never thought of. While the journey of MBA, we go through an internship process, and that internship process is where I was lucky enough to do my internship at Star Plus. Uh, Star Plus was Star TV was number one brand at that point in time, and there was absolutely no competition. And I got to work in the brand team for internship for about 3 months, 3.5 months. I stretched it. It was 2 months internship. I stretched it for 3.5 months because I was enjoying what I was learning there. That is the time I decided that I want to be in brand and marketing field. I don't. That was the time when I was very clear that sales, I was not sure. Sales. After doing this internship, I was very clear I want to be into brand and marketing team of any good brand or a company. So that decision was taken during that internship. Uh, Post that, a lot of companies came down to campus, and then I went out to figure out that how can I join. I reached out a lot of companies. Everyone was telling me, similar statements. We need people who have similar experience. So freshers we don't entertain much. And second is either you are from the same field or you should have worked in advertising agency. Okay. So now companies were not hiring people freshers. So I had only one option to get into an advertising agency. First advertising agency that came to campus, I just went for an interview and got selected. I joined it. It was Madison. So, I started with Madison. I spent good 1.5 years with Madison, then moved to Percept, then to Mudra. And from Mudra, that was a stepping stone where I moved into where I wanted to be as a part of brand and marketing team of an organization. And that too, at that point in time, the number 3 organization of the country. Reliance Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group. I had an amazing boss over there who is my guide, mentor then and even now. Talking about changes that I've seen over the years, since I started working, I've seen amazing amount of changes across. It's not only about what marketing and media, but change in work culture happening across organizations and environment, change in media space, change in marketing and brand world. What changes happen in customer journey specifically, because from brand and marketing point, that's the most important aspect. So there was a time when media was dominated by print and outdoors, to an era where we are, which is digital marketing, and the journey of the transition from a conventional to digital marketing has been an amazing one. If you have witnessed this firsthand, so I can say that I've witnessed it. When I started my career, there was nothing as digital marketing. There used to be one social media site called Orkut. I don't know, even today's generation would even know what Orkut was. And before that, of course, the greatest communication channel used to be Yahoo Messenger, which most we have grown with it to where we are. So that's the kind of transition and change that we have seen. If I talk about in context of marketing and branding, we have seen consumption habit of change, customers change. If we look at media consumption habits, we look at travel and tourism habits in past 10-15 years, how they have changed, how we communicate, and to what we eat, what we wear, everything has changed in last 10 to 15 years. Whether we realize or don't realize, but there is a drastic change. And as a marketer or as a brand communication person, the best way to be relevant in your field is to be very flexible. You need to learn continuously and have an open mind. There are times when you say, I know it all. If you think that you know it all, you are going to be irrelevant very soon. So that's why we need to be flexible and very open-minded about things. As also as the quote goes, that change is the only constant. From challenge point of view, I think my challenge is a very small challenge that I think even today I face the same challenge as I faced it 15 years back, which is to one small line to define the problem statement. That's the challenge. I can give you an example to explain it in a much better way. Most of the times we start moving to various decisions that what is to be done. So for example, I have a marketing option. I have to do a communication. Okay. Somebody says, I want to do a campaign. Okay. What campaign do you want to do? So I want to sell. Fine. So that's not a problem statement. That's the end objective. What is the problem statement? Why are you not selling? So I am not selling because customer is not buying. Okay, that is also not a problem statement. That is a reason why customer is not buying. So there could be reason, either my product is not right, either my pricing is not right. So then we need to address that. If your product is not right, then you try to fix a product or make product relevant to customer. If you are not able to reach out to customer, then you need to look at your communication channels, why you are not able to. If your pricing is wrong, so either change your pricing, which is the most difficult thing to do. But if you can't change your price, then make your product worth that price.
Yes.
So to understand this, you need to define this problem statement. If you define your problem statement correctly, then you will be able to solve it in a much better way. It's like a doctor has to diagnose your disease perfectly. If he diagnoses it rightly, he can give you the right medication to cure it. So this problem statement is nothing but the diagnosis of the problem. So as a marketer, as a communication guy, I would suggest all the people who are hearing that please focus on this one small statement, which is to define your problem statement. You do that right, and I can assure you that 90% of the times you will not fail in any activity that you undertake.
Superb, Naveen. I think it was a great point that, I mean, the objective is this, but, identifying what is the problem statement and not just, I mean, from a first layer point of view, it has to be, you need to dig deep, you need to ask the right questions to yourself, to your customers, to others to I think the more time you spend to identify the problem statement, the treatments are easy. I mean, as you
Yeah,
said,
absolutely.
that you go in the right direction. You don't waste your time and energy in identifying and navigating other things here, right?
Absolutely.
Superb and amazing knowing you, Naveen, as a person, a little more about your background and journey. And it's a vast experience which you have gathered, collected, and that is going to help us a lot to navigate certain marketing concepts here. So, one thing I identify, you had a clarity from the very beginning of your career, like I mean, in that age and in that time, it was pretty difficult to identify this is what I want. People used to go in a very conventional careers, like you just have to do this and this and this, and this is what your career path is. So I really like that idea that going back to that time and had that kind of clarity, and this was not a very conventional career path that particular time, right?
True.
So,
The things which have helped me take that decision was that very clearly I always knew what I like and I don't like. So in engineering after second year when we go for internship, I went to one of the best textile mills to do my internship. It was a 15 days training. On day 2, I told my senior that I am not going to come from tomorrow. I definitely know this is not what I want to do in my life. So that after second year, I was very clear that this is not something that I want to do, and I cannot live my life on a shop floor. So I have to look at alternate options, and either I have to go and do an MS in some other field, or I can do MBA. I searched. I spoke to a lot of people to understand both pros and cons of both these options. Marketing then excited me. Sales, I had done bit of sales while growing up for various things, just to pass my time during summer vacations and other stuff. So I had a natural inclination towards sales and marketing, so I decided to go for MBA. When I did my internship in MBA with Star, there was one person who became my role model over there. I looked up to him, and then I saw that okay, if I go this path, probably if not there where he is, if even I am halfway where he is, I would be happy to be there. And that's how these are the kind of cues that life gives you, and you have to pick them up and make your career path towards that.
very nice, very nice. I mean, that is what I am realizing. The clarity is very, very important, no matter what. And especially at the time when you are about to build your career, you really need to be very, very clear about your thoughts. Often, what happens, we get influenced by what others are doing, and, we don't even go back and see what exactly we like it, right? So it's just that whatever karma is giving it to me, go ahead with that. So Naveen, we spoke about the problem statement and objective. So I would love to know, like, how do you define the marketing objective, right? And
Right.
yeah, some concept about that, some core concept about that, if you would like to share.
Sure. Uh, See, in most of the organizations, as everyone would does it and has been happening conventionally also, your marketing objectives get defined through a various. It's a channel. So there is an organization objective which an organization set for itself. That okay, in this coming new financial year, this is what I want to do. 3 years plan. This is a 3 years plan. This is 5 years plan. So with those organizational objectives, you define your departmental objectives. For marketing, the departmental objective is sales and marketing department combined. So your marketing objectives largely gets defined by your sales objectives or your brand, visibility objective, that I want to do brand promotion, I want to build brand and all those things. So your objectives get defined by that. From those you come down how we approach and how we have been doing it over years is that from this overall approach we come to an overall strategy, whether it is for brand sales, whatever it be. From this overall strategy you come down to your marketing strategy, then to your communication strategy, and after all this is done, then you move to your marketing plan, media plan, execution plans, and various other activities that you need to ensure to reach out to these strategies, and from this strategy to your overall marketing objective. What happens is that the success of your plan or your strategy depends on your core objective. And objectives, as I said, will how I prefer doing it is by defining that key problem statement. If I am launching a new product, I need to go back and do my research from the market point of view, that how the market is, who are the competition. I need to study competition from all aspects, product placement, whether it is pricing, whether it is their USPs or who are buying them. So defining target audience and target groups. To moving down to the next level by saying that if I am entering this market, what is the supply-demand ratio over here? How much consumption is there? Is there a gap that my product is going to fill, or I am going to be competing with the existing products? All these things are going to define how my marketing plan looks like or my strategy looks like, and from there we go ahead and execute these. Success of any plan or strategy depends on that if you stick to your core objectives. You can keep doing course correction over a period of time in your marketing plans or your execution plans or media plans, but you cannot midway go and do course correction in your objective, because if you do that, then everything that you have done becomes irrelevant, and you will have to go back to your drawing board again and start from scratch. All these, so core concept, when I'm talking core concept, is here that you see the space in which you are coming, which is defined by your research of your market, your competitors, and the consumption, supply, demand, how the consumption habits, what is the consumer. Most of the times we go and do a research that what does consumer wants, but trust me, 90% of the time consumer doesn't know what he wants. It is consumer can only select between the option that you present. That is the most easiest thing that a consumer can give you. So from a research point of view, this is my learning from various research that I have tried, that if I go and ask consumer that, okay, I'm building a new project of, say, housing, okay, if I go and ask what do you want, they will tell all the things which are already there in the market. They might not even come up with one single solution that this is one additional thing that I would want. But if I go and tell them that these are 5 new things that I want to bring into my project, which one is most relevant for you, I might get an answer that I'm looking for. So, for example, what we did is we were launching a project in one of the IT hub areas in Pune. It was a residential project, and it was a small project with about 250 apartments. So we thought that who should we target? We started from there. We then okay, if this is the IT hub, that means we are talking to a lot of millennial crowd. People who are going to buy could be the guys who are IT software managers, engineers, or back office guys who are in their growth journey. Probably these are the people who have a family, both husband wife working. So being a new generation, they'll all of us look at 2 aspects. One is technology, the second is health. These are the 2 things which are very important, and everyone looks forward to these 2 things. Technology you cannot live without, and being in IT profession, technology is something that you deal with every day. And health, because everyone has become health conscious. We talk about organic food and XYZ. So health. So these are the 2 aspects, whether going to gym, whether cycling, whether running marathons, or whether doing exercise in gym, whatever. But these 2 were core things that we thought that millennials were looking at. So we said, okay, let's go out and build a project which is the first of its kind project in the market of Pune. And we launched a project with the name, with the concept of first health tech homes. Okay. Now, it was there is nothing great and unique about that thing. Most of the project would have similar things, but there are small things that we tweak and we leveraged it into our marketing concept and communication. So we said health, how can it be good from health point of view? We said okay, we have all yoga rooms, meditation room, everyone has. We said we will have this, but we will also have oxygenated yoga rooms. Okay, so that was an addition. We said okay, most of the IT guys get things to work from home. Now working from home is a concept at that time. Pandemic was not there, so it was like घर पे बैठ के काम नहीं होता है. We'll give you a business bay where you can go, you can do your video conferences, you can do your meetings, you can go sit over there and work. We created a crèche next to it so that people, husband, wife, both who are working, and if they have a kid, there is a crèche in the society itself. And if you're working in that business day, you can monitor your kid, what they are doing, overlooking. From health, so this is technology. Oxygenated yoga room was health. We said our gardens, the landscaping that we will do of certain planters which emit more oxygen. So we did a research on which are the plants which emit more oxygen, which are the plants which emit oxygen 24/7. And did a lot of those kind of research to put across to our landscape architect that these are the kind of things that we want to do. Please design the landscape architecture according to this. We said at that point in time, home automation was largely luxury and premium business. We brought home automation in over here. So you can sit in your office and answer your doorbell. You can switch on light, through your mobile phone, fans, and all those things which have become very basic today. So we did that. So the success of that project came because of that unique small things that we did. We were 85% sold in first hour of the launch. So these are how you bring in concepts. So there is nothing, you need to bring innovative ideas. You need to help consumers take decision. You need to make life easy and simple. The more confused the customer gets, the lesser chances that he will make a decision to purchase immediately. But if you make his life easier, the purchase decision becomes faster. Your product selling cycle becomes quicker. So look at the customer, try to make his life easy. That is going to help you as a successful marketer, salesperson, or as an organization. Your success will get defined by that.
Right. And if I have to summarize it, it's like understand the consumer first, their needs, their demographics, and then come with the solution, and also make it in such a way, as you said, make it so simple for them to decide. The decision making process should be simple for them. They don't have to go back and do a lot of calculations and maths and then coming up with a decision. But if you do on their behalf and show that these are the options and you just have to choose it. So I think that's a great way to, that's a great, what you say, it's a part of the marketer and the marketing team to make it easy for them, step by step.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it's a great addition here, Navin. If we are doing any marketing campaign, or if we are setting an objective and understanding the consumer journey, so I think it's a great way and step-by-step approach to towards the solution, right? So you spoke about real estate, so let me talk about that, Navin. This is I always feel like asking that it's real estate as a segment. It's a little traditional in nature, and it has traditionally relied on the offline marketing styles. Okay, it's 80-20 ratio on the offline and digital side, right? So now when the changes has happened drastically in terms of the digital adoption, so how do you see the media mixes are changing, taking places in the real estate segment?
Real estate marketing is slightly different than what the other product marketing would be. real estate marketing is a very localized marketing, unlike others. Because the project which you are selling is very relevant in that geography. So selling a project in say Pune will not have relevance probably in a Bangalore or in a Chennai as much as it's in the Pune, into that particular vicinity of East or West Pune or South Pune. So it's a very localized marketing, largely driven, as you said, that initially it was very conventional. Ratio, I would not say it. I would say it is more 90-10 ratio earlier, where predominantly it was driven by print, very heavily on print, followed by outdoor, so hoardings and other outdoor media, and some bit of radio if at all. So that's how the overall marketing mix used to look in early phases of real estate marketing, which has changed over a period of time. So from print, hoarding, radio became another media which started gaining its space with FM flourishing a lot, with the content format that FM started bringing in and all that. So radio also started becoming integral part of your marketing plan. Then BTL activities took over big time. So going down to the corporate houses, going down to markets, going into malls. So BTL activities started doing road shows. So BTL activities started picking up. So a marketing mix become print, outdoor, radio and BTL. From there, you started moving on to some digital. So digital started figuring it into the same thing around 2000 and I would say 14 onwards, 13, 14 onwards. Digital started getting into the media mix of real estate also.
Okay.
Print, still print was dominating. So at that time also, if I have to give you ratios, 50 to 60% used to be dedicated for print advertisement. 20% was for outdoor hoardings, 10% for radio, and 10% for BTL and digital. So that's how the broad breakup of marketing split was, which today, if you ask me, has changed completely. Print most of the times is only used during launches and not sustenance phase. That is also because print helps you announce a project. It helps you giving those eyeballs. But from ROI perspective, print has lost its charm today.
Okay.
With digital, leads, the cost of CPLs, what we call as cost per lead, has dropped drastically compared. The flow of lead, however fast you want, becomes more easy. I can decide on how many leads I want to generate in a day by choosing different media, which flexibility I don't have. My dependency is on print. Print can only give me a day or a 2-day window where I will get my leads. But with digital, I can do a sustained campaign, getting leads every day in the volumes that I want. Hoardings, which are largely your project direction signages, I can say today, more than anything else. So yes, during launch you want to do a burst, but you can't sustain that kind of visibility throughout the year. So hoardings are largely used in the vicinity of the project to work as direction signages for people who are coming, or if somebody is traveling closer toward the product, they will know that your project is nearby. So it becomes more of point of sale kind of a media for real estate. Radio becomes a great amplifier of your campaign because the frequency at which your ads can run on radio at a cheaper cost will help you amplify your campaign. And the innovations that radio guys have brought in by getting people on board, doing an interview or trying to get customer, or doing a studio shift at your site during launches and talking to customers, interviewing and all those things, that has helped change the marketing bit. Digital is the largest source for getting leads for any real estate company today. The marketing mix has changed. So in launch, your about 40 to 50% of budget is allocated to digital now, compared to a print earlier. Not huge, from a 5% digital spends to going to a 50% digital spend is an amazing transformation, and there is huge. And I can tell you there is still huge potential for digital to grow. even today after this much allocation. Print is only relevant, has been only relevant to the launches now. In sustenance phase, print doesn't get that kind of response. Radio again is an amplifying media only, and BTL activities and outdoor. So outdoor in different markets works very differently. In Bombay, where out of home media is so very expensive, it's actually very difficult to afford and continue running a sustainable campaign in Bombay. So it is only a phenomenon of launches. Bangalore, almost the same case. Pune is very heavy on outdoors in real estate. If you come down to Pune, 70 to 80% of holdings are only occupied by real estate. That's the kind of visibility on outdoor in Pune is. There are certain cities which have banned outdoor, so you don't have any hoardings and all. Delhi tried to implement these things. Bangalore tried to restrict the sizes of hoardings. Coimbatore has ruled out all hoardings out of the city and bus shelters. So the outdoor has its own limitation, and hence digital has picked up big time. BTL activities have picked big time. So a lot of people do road shows in various cities, going down international markets and all those things. And digital is the easiest media to reach out to anybody across the globe, sitting at comfort of your home. And hence it has picked up very nicely, and people rely on digital because cost effective, fast, it's completely in my control. I want to start a campaign today, I can start a campaign today. I want to pause a campaign today, I can pause. I want to stop, I can do it. So the flexibility digital media provides is amazing, and that's how the ratio has changed. This is the marketing and media bit that I talked, but how things have changed in real estate over a period of time from technology point of view. If I have to tell you, real estate was a very point of sale kind of driven market where customer has to come to your project to see, to experience, and to from there to book online without even visiting a site. The transition has been amazing. So that is one, which is the customer experience, how technology has improved customer experience.
Yeah, and I think that is the biggest challenge for real estate market, right? To make the customer visit the site. So yeah, if you could talk on that part, it would be great, Navin.
So, technology helped how to improve customer experience over a period of time. I remember back in 2011-12, I'm talking that old, about almost 10 years back. When I was with Godrej, we were one of the first companies to do AR/VR back then for one of our projects. Now we are talking AR/VR as the next thing, and all those things we did back then. Of course, it was not as interactive as it is today, but even by any standards, there is an iPad on which I just go click, I can see 3D views, and I've used all those things. So the transition from customer experience, which has changed, which has helped a lot, rather than waiting for a client to come on the site during COVID. These technological gadgets have helped a lot. Doing WhatsApp call and showing people project, by doing video call with them, or showing these 3D AR/VR stuff. So customer gets to know what the entire project is, and interaction has become very easy online. Second is the product per se. So real estate from a brick mortar product became an aspirational product to a lifestyle product today. So Internet of Things, IoT, people are talking for last 2-3 years. Back in 2011-12, we were talking to a company and we were designing a product which give you flexibility of switching on your AC sitting at your office before you leave office, so that once you reach home, your home is already at a certain temperature that you want. You can give access to your maid sitting remotely in the office. When the maid comes, you open the door sitting anywhere. So back then, when we used to talk about all these things, it used to look like a sci-fi movie we are talking about, and it was very difficult for people to believe it and understand it. Now today, everyone can do it because technology has become so cheap, so accessible, that it is very easy. So if somebody says we have electronic switches and home automation, it's like, okay, that's given. Digital innovations took a great thing in the marketing and brand side. So how digital innovation happened. I'm talking about SMS emailers, then you move to social media, then to other things. Then there was CPLs and PPCs and various stuff. During that time, we tried quite a few innovations. There is something called as Beacon. I'm sure you would know it and a lot of people will know. Beacon got introduced. Okay, so Beacon is a technology which helps you do remarketing. So like you have cookies, how you place cookies. When somebody browses your website and your cookies get installed on their laptops or phones and all. But for that you have to come down on my site, right? Beacon, can be installed on your phone on certain apps automatically. Where if you have heard my advertisement on a radio, or if you have seen it on a television, Beacon is going to get pick up and will latch onto some of your apps on your phone, and I'll be able to do remarketing.
Okay, got it. So it's on the voice and conversation.
Yes, so those kind of things came into market, which help marketers to reach easily to people who actually could not come to my website or to my site and I could do something. We also created an innovation that if you are seeing my ad, okay, if you click on that ad, that Google Map will pop up and will show you that how far you are from my site and what is the route. That's like 6-7 years back, this was a big thing. Today it's very easy for us to navigate and do things. But back then, Google would automatically tell you that, okay, if you are seeing this ad, Google will pop up and speak that, okay, you are 5 minutes away from this site. People want to see new things. They want to see what is new. And bringing, it might not be great. Very simple things you bring in. I'll give you an example. When everywhere real estate was talking about prices starting from X, that means this is the price plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this, right? So that's the concept. We launched an affordable home segment where we said that one price promise, this is the all-inclusive price, you don't pay a rupee more. So we brought it to that, and people were like happily surprised to see that, okay, I don't have to pay more than this. So, which gave them a fair idea that what is my cost of ownership, there are no surprises left.
And you made them feel safe that this is what it is. Make your money. Right. People feel safe.
Yeah, and yes, in real estate there are different things. There is a floor rise, there is a preferential location, this thing, there is this spacing will have a different pricing and all. We said there is only one price promise. Pick up any flat, any floor, this price doesn't change. So that was an affordable segment. We understood the psyche of that segment, that target group, that they want to feel comfortable. They don't want to get surprised later that okay, ye bola tha, abhi ye bhi dena hai, wo bhi dena hai. We understood that thing and we tried to address those problem statement. Try to make life easy. Those two things that I've spoken about have guided us to do all this. With innovations, it's not easy to drive innovations in organizations because getting approvals from seniors, management is the most difficult task. Things which you are trying to do unconventional require a lot of guts and lot of belief in yourself. As I said that I have been lucky that here at Vascon we could experiment all that because our management was very supportive and they things which I thought they are going to reject, they have approved that. I'll give you example. I've given you this example. And then the expectation of management was, okay, we are doing this new launch. What is the innovation that we are going to do? So now
the expectation level is high.
I get a question. When we launched ultra premium luxury project in Pune, which we have apartments which starts from about 7 crores and goes up to 15-18 crores. We were like, what do we do? So we decided that okay, we are not going to do conventional advertising. We will not do print ad. We will not do hoardings. So then what do? We said okay, we'll do a print ad, but we'll only do in economic times. Okay, but we will not do a regular print. So we'll have to do something different. So we did a golden jacket. Yes, so a golden color paper had my ad, a fourfold, inside which economic times was put up. And that's the innovation where I took it to my management that, sir, this is interesting, we should be doing this. Somewhere I knew that it might get rejected. They will say, this is too costly or it is not relevant and all that. They said, super, go ahead, let's do it. What's the cost and all? So I said, we'll do Pune and X is the cost. They say, okay, why don't we do Bombay also? Fair enough. I say, if you are doing Bombay, let's take Bangalore and Delhi also. So from a small ad that I wanted to do in Pune, we did a 3 metro plus Pune ad, and trust me, the response that we got for that ad was phenomenal. The publisher Times of India, people called me up and they said, Navin, this morning phones have not stopped ringing. Everyone is asking, what is the cost of this? I also want to do this.
Okay, super.
My management got phenomenal feedback from the peer groups, from investment bankers, from different bankers. After looking at that ad, from Bombay, Bangalore, everywhere. That something, I feel proud that okay, if ever in Pune anyone is going to talk about golden jacket, my first ad will always be remembered.
Oh yes. And these are all legendary, you feel so good that something has came out of you and now it's kind of like traditional.
Absolutely.
Thank you for taking us, to the journey of the whole media which has changed in the real estate segment, from the complete print and complete offline to now, digital innovation, technology. And the way technology is increasing, and I'm sure if right now it's like 40 to 50% into the digital in the real estate, I'm sure it is going to increase because the magic which technology is putting inside, how you took us through the magic you have already had back then in 2011-12, right? So I think with that, there is a huge change which is expected in the media mix and in the mindset as well.
Definitely it should, and it will happen.
It will, and because it's so rapid, the changes are happening so rapid. You took us to the Orkut era to right now we have whatnot. We can communicate in any way, any possible way. Video calls are so effective, easy, and it is in all the nook and corners. So these are very simple things, but the technology is very deep, which is yet to implement it. So how easy and difficult for you to reach out to your target audience now? After the whole changes, and if you just share some of the strategies that has worked for you.
Okay. If I talk about the target audience or target groups that we have to target, our product mix today here at Vascon is an apartment which starts from about 14 lakh rupees to an apartment which to a bungalow which costs about 35 crores. So from a 14 lakh to 35 crore is the range of product that we work in, and everything in between. If you talk about how easy or difficult it is to reach out to these target audience, I think the easiest target audience to reach is if I define these target audience into 4 segments: affordable segment, middle class, upper mid or luxury, and super luxury. So the second and third one, which is the middle class and upper middle or luxury segment, are the easiest one to reach. Because their media habits are very predictable, are very easy, and these are the guys who are very savvy with technology or media and all these things. So it is very easy to reach out to these groups. The difficult groups, and you might find it surprising that I'm saying that uber luxury, the most rich people are not easy to reach digitally or otherwise. Would be surprising, but there it is, and I'll explain you how. And the affordable segment. So I'll start with the affordable segment, the difficulties that we face. Their media consumption, one, you are not sure what they consume. So I'm talking about people who are taxi drivers, auto drivers, maids, small grocery people, fruit and vegetable vendors. Now, this is the segment which largely are the target groups for affordable housing sectors. They are not very savvy with mobile phones. They might have a smartphone, but might not know how to use it effectively. Their media habit changes very fast. Today they are watching something. Tomorrow they will switch from there and move to somewhere else. With media platforms like OTT platforms, how they've exploded, and we don't even know how many OTT platforms exist today. They will be on one platform today, tomorrow they'll be on another, tomorrow they'll be on another. So it's very difficult to predict their behavior on digital media. It's very difficult that they will sustain on those medias over a period of time. So that's one reason why it becomes very difficult. Second, while internet and everything is very cheap, and thanks to the new launch of telecom, which has helped 3G and 4G and 5G coming on handsets of everybody across India. Now those will help, but still it's a difficult task to reach out to these target audience because of their media behaviors. Mid segment and upper mid segment are the easiest one. Largely that they would be on what kind of social media, what kind of news platform, what kind of health. I talk about health and everything. So what kind of apps would they be having access to? Amazons of the world, and everything is, you will find it on every mobile phone. So you know where to market yourself, how to market yourself, and how to reach out to these guys. The super luxury guys, when I'm trying to target for, say, a product which is 15 crore, 10 crores onwards, this guy would probably, the hardest part is to define the ROIs. This guy would have seen my ad, but he will never click and put his details on my ad. So I will never know that he has seen an ad. What he will probably do, he will tell his secretary or his manager, his or her manager, to get the details of those projects or the project, or call somebody to me. Now with that, whether my digital campaign has worked or not, I will never know, because I cannot track it. And today, tracking each and every penny is the need of an hour. So then, if you are doing campaigns for such segment, then you don't say that this is my marketing, but this is my brand spends which I am doing, because I am not able to track exact ROIs against it. Hence, this becomes difficult. You can't reach them out on expos. You can't reach them out, in market. You can't reach them out in a mall. So how do you reach these guys? So then you will have to find alternate ways, and road shows and BTL activities are the other media, or very high-end events. So when we were selling high-ticket items in a city of Bombay, we used to go to avenues where we will find these super rich people. So we used to go to derbies. We used to host derby for these clientele, where horse racing, derbies, polo, golf. These are the places where you will find these people, hanging around, meeting. I know that a person who's going to a golf course will have certain net worth, or which would be relevant for my product or not, depending on where I am reaching. But definitely, I know that a guy who's coming to play a golf every weekend definitely is an HNI. He's not a middle class person. So if my product falls into that range, then it is relevant for me to be present over there. So that's how you try to figure out ways onto reaching to these guys. When I'm talking about affordable segment, I know that digitally I might not be able to do 100% job as I want to. Then what are the avenues? How do I reach them? So I go and do society activities. I do fun fairs. I do carnivals, where I know these guys will end up coming not for themselves, but definitely for their kids. So you try to figure out, things which could attract, which the interest levels of people whether their own interest or whether the family interests, and try to do things where you can pull these people up.
Yeah, so here it's important to know and dig the customer journey very keenly. Like, I mean, what they do from morning till night, and how their family looks like, what are their interest areas. So I think the digging is more on their interest, and then reach out to wherever they are present.
I look forward that what is the next surprise which is going to be there in media industry, and what is going to be the next big thing. Like,
Yes.
We talked about IoT, AR, VR,
Yes,
beacons,
yes.
and all this thing. The next thing in real estate for sure is metaverse,
Oh,
and it's already started catching up. Yes, it's going to take some time for things to get developed, and how user friendly it becomes, and how user experience is. That's the most important thing. We have already seen that happening at the Geo AGM, where they were talking about teleporting yourself while doing a call. So we have started working on something where in an apartment you can teleport yourself to any corner of the house and see how the house looks and all this. So we already have a ready product right now for next project launch, where we will be using not exactly metaverse as such, but a part of metaverse where you can teleport yourself to an apartment. So yes, it is very interesting from the user experience, customer experience, and media keep changing every day. At one time Facebook was the thing for digital marketing. Today Instagram has taken that bit, and you have to move at the same pace that the world is moving, so that you are not left behind.
yes, very true.
For that, being in the right groups, in the right circles, helps a lot. Not only that, you reading about those things, and it's very easy today. If you want to know what metaverse is and what that ocean means to you, you just have to go Google it, and you will have loads of video talking about basics of metaverse, what can be done, and possibilities. So it is very interesting, challenging, because you need to adapt with them and try to figure out your space into that world and execute it. And interesting because new possibilities.
Because it's new. Yeah. It's actually thrilling, and it's very exciting to know the possibilities, and I'm very excited to see how the media and marketing is taking the opportunity of metaverse and going ahead. So it's really exciting how the market is changing rapidly, right? So, you have worked with various industries, Navin, many industries, right? So, if you could share some of your learnings from various organizations and industries which you have been associated with, that would be great.
So, working with each organization has been an experience in itself. Each company has its own unique value system and unique vibe to it. To say that, my first company, Madison, where I started working, the things that if I have to see that what learnings I have got, so I would say that from Madison, I learned being humble. That I learned from the man himself, Sam. Even today you go and meet, he's so approachable, so humble, and so soft spoken. And second is persistence. So these are the two takeaways that I would say from Madison that I have. Reliance, I learned aggression, passion, hunger to get something done. With Reliance there is lots of learning, but if I have to talk about key, I would say these are the things. Aggression in work, you have to do something, and just go and do it, whatever it is. Passion, because people over there never used to, if they are calling you, they will never ask you, why are you not in office? They will say, are you in office or not? If you say I'm not in office, they say fair enough, this is the work, finish it. Nobody questions that why are you not in office or why are you outside. It doesn't matter. This is the work which needs to be finished. If it is done, job done. And hunger to get something done. So much diversification we have seen when we were part of Reliance. So if we wanted to go and do a metro project, we will do everything to ensure that we get the contract for us. that I've seen that kind of things happening over there, and I have learned that the passion, the commitment that people have for doing certain things is amazing. So Reliance has been a great learning ground for me. Uh, Godrej, on the other hand, was a very great employee-friendly company. There is amongst all the organizations that I have worked, this is one company which is very employee-friendly. The other important aspect there is that they trust their employees. And I'll give you a very small example to put that point to a context. There are no sick leaves in Godrej. If you fall sick, you can take as many sick leaves as long as you are sick.
Oh my God.
That's the trust that have.
Kind of trust they put into that.
A small policy, but see the impact. So if I and it doesn't define you can take only 10 sick leaves in a year or a 12 sick leave. If I am sick for 20 days, 25 days, they trust me that you are sick, that's why you are not coming to office. So that trust from Godrej. Vascon, on the other hand, I've seen a company which believes in a lot of things to let go and not to get into fights or arguments with partners. So even if that if we have to lose something, it is fine as far as we are maintaining the good relationship with people. The other important aspect is that passion for doing things, trying new things, giving freedom. As I said, that most of the innovations that we have tried in last 4 years in this organization, I had full support from management. So that's the kind of the culture of this organization. I have spent about 5 years. Trust me, I am the youngest senior professional in this organization.
Okay.
So I don't need to say much more because that shows that there would be a certain kind of culture that people are happy to be here. On an average, 15 years is the average tenure of people who have spent here.
Okay. Super.
So these are few of the takeaways from organizations, learnings that I have got, and I cherish them a lot.
Yes, and this is how you build yourself, the unique you. You take it from many places, and that is how you become what you are today. Okay. So Navin, with that, we are now moving to a very interesting section, which is a rapid fire round, which will allow us to know you as a person a little more. And in this section, we are going to answer in as minimum as possible, one word or one sentence. Describe yourself in one word.
Responsible.
What motivates you to get out of the bed in the morning?
Aspiration to do better than yesterday.
I think, that's a great driving force. So texting or talking?
Absolutely talking.
Okay. Early in the morning or late in the night?
So it's a big struggle between morning and evening. Though I want to be a morning person, but it's a struggle because of the work balance that you need to do. But yes, definitely I am for morning.
Okay. For me, it's both. I love mornings. I love nights. So it's again a struggle. Yeah. So biggest accomplishment this year?
Yet to come.
I wish you all the very best for that, Navin.
Thank you.
What is that one leadership lesson you learned on the go as a people leader?
I think communication is the key. As a leader, you need to talk to your people. The more you talk, the better you understand them, and that helps you build good relationship with people, and it gives comfort. So that communication is the key for me.
What sort of leader would your team say about you are?
Trustworthy and open.
One key learnings that you have picked up from your team?
I take a lot of energy from my team. That keeps me going.
And then you learn a lot from the team, they
Absolutely.
Bring their unique individuality.
I tell you, I have learned basics of real estate from a person who used to report it to me.
Oh, see how there is the learning can come from anywhere else, and you just have to be open.
And I have never felt ashamed or anything to admit and give that credit to that person, that you are the one who taught me this.
Right. And
There is
you have to be open for that, and it can come from anywhere, even a kid, even anywhere else as well.
yes.
A book or podcast you would like to recommend marketers?
I would actually want to suggest something which is from non-marketing. And the reason I'm telling you is that when I read this book, I felt that, oh God, if I got this 20 years back, I would have retired by now. The name is Financial Freedom by Grant Sabathy. And he has a podcast also, which is there on Spotify. You should read this book, and from the podcast, if you listen to all the episodes, you will get one more book to read from each episode that you should read. The basic crux of this book is that how you get financially independent so that you don't have to work in your life for money.
I think that's a great one to recommend, Navin, to the youngsters, and even to everybody.
All of us. And
financial education has to come up.
And this book is not very finance. Trust me, it is about how to manage finance so that you are independent from for money. Then you work for your passion. So it is a brilliant book, very simple language, so that you don't have to be a financial graduate or just to understand that book. There are a lot of context which are given to the US market, but ignore that. Just take the basic thoughts from the book, and trust me, it is you. If you implement it, you apply it, you will see a drastic change in your life. You will be more free and more relaxed.
I think I'm going to explore it today itself, Navin. I mean, this is something, this is the topic I have been talking from few days, and some topics are in the top of your mind, and all of a sudden, universe sends somebody with some references, and the same thing happened just now. Yesterday only I was talking about financial freedom and financial education and all those things, and even I feel for me also I need to learn a lot on that particular segment, and you are just talking about it.
And trust me, I think people should look at financial freedom as a topic very seriously, because in the world that we are living today, if you ask me, there are so many urban poors that we are.
If you define that urban poors,
so urban poors are, I would say, this the generation where people earn and they want to enjoy their life to the fullest, and they spend everything. There is no concept of saving. There is no concept of investment. It's just enjoy the day today. Now, if tomorrow, if there is any crisis, and we have seen a lot of people during this pandemic.
Last 2 years, yes.
People who didn't have any savings were the ones who suffered a lot with a job loss and no salary cuts, whatever be the case. These are the guys who suffered a lot. You earn money, and I see youngsters. I stay in Pune, which has highest number of pubs and restaurants in the world as a city. You go kids go partying 3 times in a week.
Yeah.
How do you manage it?
Yeah.
Come on, at my level, I think once a week is good enough.
Yeah, there is a saturation, I mean, you have other things to do.
I am not against partying, I'm not against going out, but I'm saying manage your finances. Please do, with all means, enjoy your life. But
be responsible.
Be responsible. Think about your own future. Forget everything.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I would recommend this book. That should read this book. It's a very good book, and I
think many youngsters, this era, I feel many are becoming very conscious about their future, about their career, about their finances and all, and books like this, recommendations like this is going to really help the people who want change, who are inspired to change themselves. So I think it's a great addition to it, Navin, and we are out of the rapid fire round with that. And before we wind up the conversation, Navin, I just want to understand, your message to aspiring brand leaders.
Sure. So, there is a lot of responsibility as marketers and as brand leaders that we all carry. We need to take that responsibility and own us very seriously, because a lot of messaging that we do has a lot of impact on the customers and the external world. So be a responsible marketer. Be focused. Be with focus. Trust me, comes clarity of thought, which is the biggest driver for being a successful marketer, communication strategist, or a brand leader. Clarity of thought is very important, and that comes through focus. If you think that going around and talking to an office boy in an office will help you understand what his life cycle is, please, with all means, do take him out for a coffee. Spend an evening with him. He will open up and talk everything that you would want to know. You don't need to hire a research agency to do it. So understand, and then try to make life easy for the customer. Gone are the days when the demand used to drive traffic, supply used to drive traffic. Today, demand is the driver. Customer is king. We have been hearing it for long. We are living in the age where customer is the king, and we are running behind customers. So, to know that you are running behind right customer, it is important that you know who you need to run behind. Be focused. Enjoy working. Be honest to your work. I think if you are honest to your work, you will succeed for sure. It might take time.
That is the mantra. I think that is the mantra. The core philosophies are same no matter which era we are. Being honest and being very consistent about your work, being very focused and being very responsible about your work is the core mantra for everybody to succeed and towards reaching to the success. And one thing you said ki no matter who is your customer, who is your target group, go extra mile to reach out to them, go and understand, go and talk, go in the field, go in the offices and talk to them, understand their pain points, problems, and then identify the solution. I think these are the foundations, and that is how you build the whole strategy towards it, right? Yeah. And thank you for sharing such valuable insights with us, Navin, throughout the conversation. With this conversation, I realized, there is a lot of clarity which you have in your mind as a person and as a leader. And this is how you took us through step by step with each and every concept, topics, discussion points which we had today, and even I have got a lot of takeaways through this conversation, and I'm sure it is going to add a lot of value to the viewers and listeners here. Yeah. So thank you for your time. Thank you, sharing these insights.
Happy to be able to contribute. Thank you so much, Devleena.